Hello, Pat. Welcome to our
Oh,
session. Welcome to our
oh,
session.
hi, Anouk. Lovely to see you as always.
Yes, likewise, likewise. Well, thank you so much for being part of this video and so that we can show the world what Galactic Origins Astrology can find out. It's a research into the cosmos and then receiving the information of the trajectory of a soul as it navigates through this galaxy into planet Earth. And very often clients are so surprised of all of the insights that comes through a reading, and if nothing else, it helps understanding of the level of your being, and it helps you empower the projects that you're busy with, or anything that you are wanting to clear in your life, or anything that you're wanting to understand from a deeper perspective. Maybe it has to do with family ties, and it has to do with what may seem like relationships, and then slowly we can start unraveling the trajectory and the reason for being in this lifetime. So let's begin. So I have sent you a few charts, which I'm going to share screen here. So bear with me a minute. So, before I share screen, let me just tell you that your chart is very specific, and your connections throughout the galaxy are immense. So you are a master soul, an ancient soul. You have come in through this galaxy, but from beyond this galaxy, from I don't know, I can't tell where exactly that was the origination of your trajectory, but I can tell that you entered through the Lyran Nebula, which is a galactic gate in our galaxy. And the Lyrans are your people. You would have had many lifetimes in that man system, the M57 man system. And yes, there is a lot of remembrance that many of us have to do with literally the Star Wars, the Galactic Wars that happen on Lyra, and this harmony and the need that we all had to have. Literally, we had to displace our culture and move to different locations in the solar system, so different neighborhoods, different star clusters. And many of us have gone to Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, Canis Major, Canis Minor, the Pleiades, the Hyades, the Satus constellation, the Lepus constellation. So quite a few constellations in the, as it is known, the habitable zone. And the reason why we are looking at the habitable zone, because it's the neighborhood in our galaxy where we have received information or intelligence that life on those particular stars and planets is indeed human. So the Lyrans were the seeders of the creators, if you like, of this technology that is our physical body. So all humans have a lineage that carries us all the way to Lyra. So many of us are very ancient souls and would have had many missions and many learnings and many lifetimes and many also teaching times in various star clusters. And I can tell you that you've had strong connections, like your soul has a very strong connection, as I said, with the Lyrans and a particular star, which I will show you on the chart in a minute, which is called Sheliak. But don't worry, because I will show you more. And a deep desire of your soul to incarnate and to be the healing, for this evolutionary phase, for being the messenger of the original intention for humans. So thank you for being here. Thank you for having come such a long way to yes, to play out the role in this timeline. So let's go on to the chart so that I can explain a little bit more. So this, what we're looking at is your it's your astrological natal chart, and it's based on the Western astrology system. So it's kind of like a flat version of the solar system. So we have, as you can see, a very busy chart because I added all of the alignments. But the beautiful thing is that the very center of here would represent the Earth. And if you could imagine at the moment of birth on Earth, the moment of your arrival on Earth, the planets were spread all around the Earth. And if you could have seen, 360 degrees all around the Earth, that's the locations that they would be. So, like these symbols are planets. And then the little words, the words are the stars that are particularly influencing your life in this particularly very busy and very amazing time to be alive on planet Earth. So as you can see here, this is do you know astrology?
No, not much.
So this is a very known symbol, right? This is the moon. So as an example, and this is the sun. Let me make it a bit bigger. This is the sun over here. So the sun at the moment of your birth, because you were born at 10:50 a.m., was way up on the horizon. So this line here across, so that you know what we're talking about, is the sunrise to sunset. So it's literally the horizon on the day of your birth. So this is a snapshot of where all the planets were on the moment of your birth. And this point here, which is the ascendant, is the point of the sunrise on the day of your birth. And as you can see, the sun was way above the horizon because of the timing of your birth. And then this point on the other side of the line over here is your descendant, or also the point of the sunset. So, and then there's another very important axis across, another thick black line across, and we've got the MC is known as the MC, so the medium coli, and I always say that this is the tree, and your roots are over here, very much, in the nurturing, deep loving, deep balancing yin yang state in Cancer, here in at 18 degrees, and on the top of the tree. So basically, the roots is the depths of you, the hidden part of you, the private aspect of you. So it's very much a sensitive expression of your soul. And the top of the tree would be the opposite of that, would be you out in the world, you showing up to your friends and to humanity, and also expressing your soul. So how people see you and perceive you, and this is in Capricorn. And here is the star Sheliak that I was telling you about. I don't know if you can see it over here.
Yeah.
Can you see the writing? It just says
Yes,
shell.
I can.
But
Shell.
this is right on your same degree as the top of the tree. So basically what this is telling me is that you have a deep soul connection and a deep resonance to the original intention, the seeders of humanity, the Lyrans, and particularly this star. And so whether you know it or not, you are emanating the mothering, nurturing expression of what the intention was for creating the human race. And when I say the human race, I mean the technology that is the body. It's not, they didn't create the soul. The soul came from elsewhere. The soul is vast and timeless and multidimensional and limitless. So this is the story of our galaxy. So, but as an ancient soul, you would have had millions of years in all sorts of other locations in the multiverse. So very deep resonance with Lyra, and a very deep knowing of the message, because here we have Mercury. The symbol here represents Mercury. So I will show you another chart. So this is a system that has helped a lot of us that have been working with what is known as fixed stars astrology. Before, I would have had to look at the chart and look at the degrees and go and find the stars that were aligned within 3 degrees orb of your particular planets. And now this lady called Julia Ballas created the system. So it's a little bit easier now. It just, it comes up, and it's also color coded. So it means that when you are researching your own origins, you can look. So for example, Lyra, as I'm talking about, is this kind of light gray. So there is a lot of Lyran connections here and here and here. So you see all of the light grays are the connections of your soul, your deep connections. And the particular one that I'm talking about is this one here, which is the MC. So if you were to look back later and listen to this recording and want to do more research, it's all in here. Or of course you can ask me for any questions. Ask me. So the MC, the top of the tree, you out in the world, you expressing the gifts of your soul, connected to the ring nebula, M57 ring nebula. This is the entry point. This is the galactic portal, one of the galactic portals. So the entry point of your soul. And it's, as I was saying, we're looking at, if I was to explain a bit more, all of these notches over here are degrees. So it's a mathematical art. Some of us call it science, but it's certainly a mathematical equation, and it's a very precise knowledge coming from ancient Egypt, ancient Sumeria, Babylonian, and then a lot of it recorded by ancient Greeks. So with that, all the numbers over here are the degrees. And so when I show you your star report, you've got the degrees written out over here, and this degree is different because it tells you the closeness. So it's 0 degrees, so no space at all, and 31 minutes. So it's a very, very tight conjunction. So that tells me that your soul has a deep remembrance of what may have happened while you were there. The vision of the destruction of at the time of the Lyran Wars, and it does play out in our lives in different ways, and I'll continue talking about that in a minute, so that you know this is a deep resonance. And the Lyran people are your strongest support. And then there is another connection, which is Mercury, which is over here. So again, the messenger, you have a strong knowing, a deep desire to express whichever way that you feel it's, you know, your creative expression. But it's a very strong one because it's connected to what it is that was your original intention. So I'm sure the original intention, if we were to create, I don't know, let's say we have the capabilities, I mean, people do, right? Scientists do, but let's say you want to create a new species of rose. So normally we do the grafting, right? We take care, we take a little shave and we add one stick of a rose and we add it to the plant, and then we nurture it and we wait for the new rose to appear, and that's a new creation. So if we were seeders of humanity, which, you know, in your case you were very close, potentially you are one of the seeders, you would make sure that that little grafting that is, you know, slowly taking root in the mother tree would survive, and it would not only survive but thrive. So the coding, of course, I'm using the analogy of the rose, and that's perhaps not the correct necessarily analogy, because that would mean hybridization. And I don't think the Lares were hybridizing the body, they were creating the body. But just for the purpose of understanding the nurturing that we would feel towards something that we are nurturing into creating something new, you would know that that deep longing for protecting the human race and for making sure that whatever went wrong in the galaxy hopefully won't happen again here. So you would be holding very high frequency, and it's not easy. It's not easy to be here holding such immense responsibility. So thank you. Thank you for all that you do. And you know, the nurturing, I know that you worked with the animals, and thank you for all of that, holding the frequency in the sentient fields as well, and the animal kingdom.
Really interesting.
So there is another really important alignment. So let me go to here, looking at the star chart again. The constellation of Cetus is a very close connection to you. Is at 0 degrees. So it's with Neptune over here, which is the dream of the divine. And it's a very strong connection at 0 degree, 10 minutes. That's very, very close. So strong, strong resonance of your soul, carrying the frequency of the beings that are in Cetus, and they are known as the Aramani culture. They are highly evolved culture, and they are protectors of peace, protectors of the suffering, protectors of the disempowered. So any of the play outs throughout a galaxy that would have involved connection with subversive races. The people, they are Amani, so they're close to you through Tau Ceti, which on the chart I have to call Menkar because it's the closest. Like here. Although it's Tau Ceti, I have to call it Menkar because it's the closest one that this system allows me to add to the chart. So as I was saying, they are really the protectors of the ones that have been taken and used for experiments. So they are the ones releasing them and fighting for their wellness. So a very strong connection for you. So on some level, this is because it's in your first house and it's in Taurus, you would have on some level a deep knowing of protecting the ones that need support, like perhaps the ones that are misunderstood. And so they're also Lyrans. They, as I was saying, we were dispersed. The Orions, Nebu, the Orion reptilians wanted that area in the galaxy because of the Ring Nebula. So all of a sudden they thought they could take over. It happened millions of years ago. We still have memory and we are finishing up what we started on so many levels. So Lyrans arrived in Cetus, and their particular reference is protection. And here, if you can follow those lines, I know there's a lot of lines here, but if you can follow this blue line across, there is a trine, which is like a beautiful triangle across here to Saturn and then back to Menkar. So it's Cetus, Lyra, connecting to the work that you do in the world, connecting with the expression of your soul in the world, and the deep knowing of the message, connected to, I want to say, the structure of systems, the structure of, it could be like a coding, encoding, because this is Saturn in Virgo. So on a human level, this would mean that you have immense skills to be very meticulous, very accurate, very precise. And on a galactic level, I see that you are holding codes for humanity. You're holding the absolute perfection of a matrix that would always stay in the memory, in your memory imprinting. So if there was any messing around, like for example, what was going on in Atlantis, you would be the one that you would see it, you would know it. Mm. So on a day-to-day basis, you would always make sure that the dots on the I's and the cross on the T's, but on a much higher evolutionary being self, you're working to make sure that the structure of humanity isn't messed around. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. So we're looking at the micro and then the macro, like the enormity of your soul and the commitment of your soul to be here and to make it right and to hold the frequency and to hold the original perfection of whatever is perfection, because I know it means different things. It's a bit like love, but if there was the original intention for humanity that you have a deep knowing of. And also this triangle, this blue trine as it's called, is in Earth. So it's very much bringing heavens to earth. It's bringing the knowledge of the original matrix to the earth. Through being in service, through taking care of the body, because it's in the 6th house of health and the body. Through being fully yourself, because it's connected to your house of I am. This is who I am in the world. And this is the expression of you out, the top of the tree, you out in the world. So it is very much the physical body, the earth, and the expression of your soul. So it's beautiful. Does this resonate with what I am sharing so far?
Oh yeah, it's fascinating. Yeah, it's showing me some, and helping me to understand my reactions over the years to some things. Mm-hmm. And especially in Hawaii, I had a reading from an energy worker, and I started bawling my eyes out, and she said, "Why are you bawling?" And I didn't really know, but the thing that came out of my mouth was the earth. I'm feeling the pain of the earth. And I thought, where did that come from? Like, I had no knowledge or prior understanding of that. And it just came out of my mouth. And we were in a sacred bay, Kiliakakua Bay. And so there was a lot of amazing energy there. And so all these pieces of information help us to understand why we're here and why we're feeling maybe the pain that we're feeling, or feeling the joy that we're feeling, or why I love animals so much, having worked at a zoo for 15 years. So yeah, it's helpful.
Yes. Thank you. And it's a bit like the original story of the Ark. Not only you have the knowledge and the wisdom of the original matrix for humanity, but also all living beings on the planet. Obviously, we're not separate.
When you mentioned master soul, what does that mean? Oh, hi, sweetheart.
You want to say hi and you want to say thank you? Yes. Yes.
This has been
Finn, yeah.
Hi, sweetie. So what does master soul mean or imply, or what's...
It means that you have worked very hard throughout the galaxies, through many lifetimes, through many missions, through many times where you were deep in learning, and through many times where you expressed your soul through maybe being a teacher, a priestess, a guide, a healer. You have evolved to the point of mastery. So it is, I want to say, you have done the hard work. I mean, it sounds like, a lovely label and yay me, but it's the opposite. It means that you have this deep responsibility to be here and uphold the truth and uphold the balance and be part of the peace. So I would say this is what it is, and this is how it feels to be a master soul. It's not like, yay, let's go celebrate. It's, wow. There is a lot to do, and let's find the others so that we can fulfill this responsible agreement. Yeah, but it certainly means that you would have had to jump all the hurdles and go through a lot of fires of initiation. And again, is the micro and the macro, so I can see it in your chart that you would have had to go through a lot in this lifetime to get to the mastery of this play out in this particular timeline too. So, but you.
Oh, in this lifetime as well, not just
Yeah.
over many lifetimes. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We give ourselves those challenges so that we can quickly remember, quickly gather the memories, gather the the wisdom, because we need it. It's not like, oh, I'm just gonna be cool and sit here under a tree and drink a lemonade. It's yeah. we have a responsibility to, on whatever level that it's personal to you, to make sure that we are, holding that stable ground for the future generations, which I know you do, because I know you. So thank you. Yes, master souls don't have it easy. They usually incarnate in difficult families and have life experiences that are challenging, but those are so that we can push through the transformational points, so that we can gather ourselves.
When you talk about finding the others, that's very true. Like meeting you online, we haven't met personally, meeting other people online who are aligned. It's just, and you just feel that, like I said, you can tell when you meet the others.
Yes. And because, of who you are, the frequency, that frequency zone, that frequency band, that your people, like it's for you, it's
true.
I want to say, I saw this in your chart earlier, you give so much, so many resonate towards you, but you also know the ones that are really truly your soul pod, your tribe.
Right. True.
Yeah. So with that, let me go back just to show you this one thing, which is so amazing. So this point here, or this area, let's call it, can you see on the other side? I could take some of those lines off, but can you see this big red across? Like if you can see, there's lots of red lines going across.
Yeah, tons.
All pointing to this
all hitting in that section.
Yeah, to this one location, which is a Centauri. He is known as Chiron, and we know it in astrology as the wounded healer. And for me, it looks like a key. Can you see? It looks like a key that you put, like one of those old keys that you would put in an old door.
Yeah.
And you can turn it and then open the mystery. So for me, this is very much a galactic astrology, very much your point of absolute healing, clearing, transmuting. And of course, the moment that you did this for yourself, you did it for humanity. So this is the point of you being fully bringing the resonance of the balance through these three particular stars. So just over here, we have quite a lot going on. So all of these are actually aligned to this point, which is the healing point. And it is in the point of our chart, which represents inheritance, represents the mystery. So for me, the way I see this, the way I'm reading your chart, is that this represents, the knowledge that you have about humanity and the potential that humanity has, and how you will always uphold that potential for everyone. So here we have a very close connection to your soul, is natal. is in the Lepus constellation. So if I was to just show you here, this is Chiron and Lepus over here. So this is kind of like a purple color. And you can see there is a lot of connections. This is at 0 degrees, 07, super, super close in resonance to your soul. So these are also your people. So you have the Cetus, which is super close to your soul. So they are assisting you in this incarnation. And the people in natal, Lepus constellation. As you can see here, we have, I don't know if you pronounce it Nial or Nihal. But so here, as you can see, there is more Lepus trines and sextiles. Here we have a square. So a lot of very close in degree. So you see 0 degrees 35, 141 over here, but this one is 007. So it's a 7 minute apart with that point in your chart, which is the healing. So this tells me that you are bringing not only this information through beyond the portal of this galaxy, into this galaxy, the memory of the Lyran Wars, the memory of original intention, the message for the matrix for a harmonious evolutionary phase, but also you on some level are part of what they are known as the indigo. I don't know much about them. I don't have a lot of people that come to me that are so close connected to Natal, but they are known to be the ones that have come with a lot of wisdom, like pre-birth, like in the womb, and they would have had mostly a difficult childhood, like a feeling of not being heard, not being understood, as if you actually came from another dimension, from another planet, and saying things the way they are to maybe your parents or the responsible adults around you, and they're just like, what are you saying? So you had deep wisdom and deep knowledge from a very young age. Does this resonate?
Yes.
Because this is very, very strong, and it's not many of you, really not many of you on the planet. And
oh, really?
Particularly the connection to your vertex, which is a calculation in the chart. So this is the calculated point. So this is not a star. The vertex here is a calculated point, and it also shows to me that you have had many lifetimes, and part of your mission in this incarnation is to hold the wisdom, like from the moment on, like you landed here knowing, you landed here running, as it were, and yet you had to slow down because we weren't ready for you. So so this is the Lepus alignment, and then you have a very close alignment to Orion. And whenever there is a red line across, it really means that your soul wants to remember this. This is a very important memory for you, to remember what was going on. So we have two very strong connections to Bellatrix in the Orion constellation, and Rigel or Rigel also in the Orion zone. And both of those locations today are very, let me just take this chart away, very, how can I say without saying it is causing the disruption or the dysfunction on planet Earth through the subversive races that are on that particular area of our galaxy. So those are the Nebo, the Mitra, the reptilian, who have created a lot of disharmony on the planet. So your soul wants to remember to be wise and to not allow that to happen. So on some level, I will tell you a little bit more about the andromedans that are supporting you. The andromedans are the warriors in the galaxy. So they're upholding the peace and the peace agreements, of which you have a very close connection. So when I see this alignment, I see that it is the desire of your soul to complete karma, not karma that was your own, because remember, you're a perfect soul, a master soul, an ancient soul, very wise, holding the codes for humanity. But you bring yourself into possibly a lineage of dysfunctional karmic families. So you would have had to remember that, and it could be connected to the early years, where it was important that you would remember when people are, let's say, when people are not truthful, that would ring all the bells. And when, when things like, for example, injustice, again, that would ring all the bells, so that you would know the frequency of the imbalance, so that it would shine on the side of who you truly are. And then Rigel, which is interesting, is that there are Lyrans in Rigel. And so part of the having to be dispersed throughout, where are my notes? Here. Part of the story, the galactic history of the Lyran Wars, and having to terraform or move, make a new, and create the culture in a new planet or a new star. Some of us ended up in the Orion zone, which is where the subversive races had placed themselves. So inadvertently, they went from one war to another war. And so particularly the Lyrans that ended up in Rigel were able to understand it, double what was going on, and their intention of service to self, and what could happen to the human race if that was allowed to continue. So, and as you can see, all of that busy part of your chart, I'm not showing your chart, but all of those connections to your soul are telling me that you are doing so much. And so thank you, so much to bring, to finish the unfinished, and to say no to all of this untruths and all of this, dysfunctional matrix and negative imprinting that has been going on through, at least we know for sure, the last 2,000 years, through religion and so on. So this is an important aspect for you to know, because if it ever feels, like a deep responsibility that you carry, that it's just so that that you came here for this. Thank you. Does this resonate?
When you're talking about being dispersed onto other planets, I really felt that. It was like, big energy came up for me around that.
So the good news is that you have immense support. It's a bit like, your mission on the planet is to be the sunshine, and I know that you are that.
I have a friend who called me that for years.
Yeah, let me show you the chart so that I can tell you what I'm talking about. So this particular area is the work that you do in the world and how you express your soul. Oh, sorry, over here. This is how you express your soul. And you have Venus in the 10th house, which is you are beautifying the world just by being yourself.
Oh.
And then the gifting of your soul is really being the sunshine for the tribe, being the sunshine for your friends, for you know your galactic bodies, as it were, the ground crew that is here with you. So you have this beautiful alignment here with Jupiter and the Sun in the 11th house of service to others, and this is particularly your your highly evolved tribe, and it is about the future. So like you're a gatekeeper, you're a master soul, you are saying, come on guys, let's do this, you know, let's hold the highest frequency possible. You're very knowledgeable and wise in on so many levels, in taking care of your body, taking care of the physical energy, so that you can be, you know, this immense plasmic light in the universe. I mean, this is not unusual chart. It looks like a diamond to me. The center part with all the lines is just so complex, as what you brought here with you, as you know, what I call the frequency sequence of your soul. And a lot of higher mind, a lot of evolutionary mind. So I know you for the many groups that you are part of, and so you are truly are this this gift to us by being this focus, as you can see if you look at all of the blue lines across, creating many perfect triangles. Those are trines, and they're all of them are in the air signs. So very much the higher mind, the higher intelligence, the galactic intelligence.
What is the difference in it between the blue lines and the red lines? I don't know astrology, so I don't know.
Yes, the blue lines are easy flow energy, so support, betterment, beneficial. And then the red lines are, so the direct lines across are called oppositions, and it doesn't mean they're against you. It means there is a tightness so that you wouldn't forget. So it's a bit like the strings in a violin, that or a guitar, that if it's not tight, it will not do what it's meant to do, right? Which is to play the notes beautifully. So life created this tension so that absolutely throughout your life, you would go through those lines and remember the song of your soul. So those are the very important aspects that tell me your mission. Those are usually what, if we can imagine that we created the potential for ourselves when we decided to come on Earth, and that's kind of like a map. If unfortunately we're looking at a screen, we're looking at a 2D, we're looking at, like, this does not look like universal wisdom, but it would be a map of your potential to, it's a bit like the breadcrumbs that you brought with you so that you would find your way back. And so talking about finding your way back is this point here, which is called the Norse node. And this is also known as the node of the moon, or is known as the true node. And Norse is the desire of the soul to finish in that direction, to complete your mission in this direction. And the opposite is always like the head and the tail of the serpent or the dragon. The opposite of that is a south node, and it would be all of the wisdom that you bring from your previous incarnation. So this has to do with you bringing immense balance, because it's in Libra. So you bring immense harmony and ways of harmonizing the body also. Like there is a lot about the body in your chart, which is this aspect here, which is the 6th house. So you know how to harmonize the body, and you brought this information with you from previous lives. Of course, remember that you are carrying the original intention, the codes, the map of the matrix of the human body. And your strong connection here is Andromeda. So Andromeda, if I can say to you, for your trajectory, you would have arrived through the galactic gate, stayed and supported and helped, and maybe you were part in creating the human race. You would have then had strong connections with the Andromedans. They are your people, they're your support, they are the ones assisting you to finish your mission. And you would have this immense resonance with, through lifetimes and through agreements with the beings like the Aramani and some of the Lyrans that are in those other parts in the galaxy, like the Cetus constellation and Lepus constellation. Being the Indigo, being the Aramani, higher frequency beings, to bring the healing to the planet. And your people, your support are Andromedans in your connection to Alpha. Let me show you on this chart, because then you can see. So Andromeda is this kind of, it's difficult to tell, it's like a dark mauve, I guess. Mm-hmm. So here you have a sextile to Alpharas, which would be benefic. It's support, so very supportive, and it's connected to your sun at 0 degrees 22. So that you can see, this same color, Andromeda, you have here with Jupiter, and you have here to the vertex. So this creates this across alignment, which is coincidental with the head of the dragon and the tail of the dragon. So the wisdom that you bring with you and the direction that your soul is preparing to fulfill its desire. So Andromedans are highly evolved, highly benevolent, immense loving wisdom, warriors for peace, protectors of the galaxy, protectors of humans on planet Earth, but everywhere else. They were the ones who sounded the alarm when they realized that Earth was signing too many agreements with the ones that were desiring humanity not to complete this evolutionary cycle. So you sent the alarms through, you are the Andromedans, but the resonance of your soul is connected to them. You would have been part of keeping the peace and keeping humanity I want to say intact, because there was a lot of, infiltration and technologies used against humanity in the last at least 50 years. That we have it's well documented out there. So who knows how many thousands of years we have had you know, this polarity game of, you know, we're almost there, oh no we're not, we're almost there, oh no we're not. So for you it must be very frustrating to see what humans are doing. It's like, oh my goodness.
I won't say the one profanity that tends to come out of my mouth sometimes, which is WTF.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, wow.
Be in the knowledge that you are such a powerful being, and whichever way you do it, and I want to talk about you know, what you do in the world. Let me just check if I've missed anything on my notes. Yeah, so connected with the air and the higher mind and your ability to really have, like, imagine you took a picture of the original intention, you took a picture of the divine dream of what it would have looked like if you were the most, you know, supreme being in the universe, and you thought, I'm just going to create more love and more expansion for more people to, you know, express that I am, you know, the all there is, the I am. Then you would have had that picture. And so I think it's lovely that you are a photographer and that you see, like, you see things that other people don't see. And I know this is a gift of very good photographers, to see the moment, to capture the moment. And remember that in the chart you have that point which I said, you beautify the world. So you do bring a lot of beauty just by being yourself. And if you wanted to, you know, express your soul in a way of certainly writing some kind of book that has your photography in it, would be very supportive of your chart. So this is certainly a potential. And know that whatever you do, even if you were to make, you know, a series of because of all of those stars are connected to the healing, you know, the ancestral healing, but also the future healing. Like you hold time. If you were to create a series about that, you know, about healing the earth, or like really showing humanity what not to do, you know, that would be cool too, because you have that potential too in your chart. So as well as beautifying, you could show the opposite of that, because you hold the strings on either end. Like, you have the power to communicate the wisdom of the ages and bring the future forward through who you are. So whatever it is that you do, you know, whether it is being at home and reading a book, you are emanating that frequency of original intention, and certainly the healing of Andromeda and the healing and protection of all of that about the higher mind. So you have this amazing mind. So navigating this age for peace and for harmony.
It's funny with the photography, I feel it. When I see something, I feel it. And it's like a few seconds of paradise to capture even lush green grass shining in the sun. You know, we have a paradise here.
We do.
We do.
We do. I feel it. I feel what you're saying. So absolutely, it's like people want to listen to your message. Remember that part, this point here in the chart, where we have this point here, which, as I said, is the top of the tree. That's you in the world. But this is also the way people see you in the world. So they come to you because you have a message, and they are really wanting to hear you, whether they hear you or they look at a photograph or they read what you write. Either way, humanity wants to hear the message that you are bringing. It needs that from the resonance of your soul, from the sequence that you embody and that you carry for Earth.
Well, this is inspiring because I feel pretty small. One person, Yeah.
Yeah.
Grateful.
Yeah, absolutely. So honor, take time to honor yourself and to say, wow, I have come through the many star systems to be me in this timeline, and me being me makes an enormous difference in this evolutionary phase. Like, you changed my life by being here.
Oh,
yes, thank you. Like, powerful being, powerful expression of the divine, and you hold so much. Thank you.
these are you.
Thank you. So
That hit my heart.
oh, yeah. So just for the purpose of the video, if anybody else watching this would like to have more information, and if you are at all curious about your galactic resonance and your trajectory and your purpose for being on planet Earth, then certainly astrology is a good tool, and Galactic Astrology is indeed in its flourishing. So I recommend to go deep. If you have the desire to know more, then listen to the desire of your soul and go find out more. And if you need my assistance, then contact me.
Thank you, Anouk.
Yes, thank you so much.
A lot of work went into this. I really appreciate it.
My absolute honor. It's just such a joy to show you how magnificent is your soul. And it's just a lot of harmony and balance that you bring, and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you.
Oh.
So much love, my dear. So much
yes, much love back to you. So grateful.
Yeah, have a beautiful day in Canada.
Thank you. Mwah.
Much love, many blessings. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.